Hel- hello, everyone. I hope everyone is having a great Monday. Um, I want to come on here and and talk about this topic right here because I think it needs to be. I think it needs to be talked about. You know, uh, I think that I I think since most black men want to say that black women are masculine, then I'm like this. Why should black women march for black men if the majority of black men feel that way? Because it to me it makes zero sense. It makes zero sense to me that the majority of black men wants to disrespect black women, but then want to go ahead and and say, well, then they want to go ahead and expect you know black women to go out there and march, you know, and fight for the black man and for the black man. That's what the black men who are narcissistic wants to happen, because in reality, again, most of the black men saying, you know, black women need black men, this, that, and the third. And I come to realize that it's also a manipulation tactic. I've grown to learn more and more about this. And the thing of it is that the black men who wants to keep tarnishing black women's names, who wants to call black women every name in the book except the child of God, even when a black woman dates out, they will call they will call black women dead wenches if they date out. Or, oh, you love the oppressor and everything else, while they get to go ahead and be with anyone that they want to. I've now grown to realize that when it comes down to it, they do not want black women to be happy, and they do not want to see black women happy within the black community anywhere or anywhere else. Pretty much they want to see black women being degraded and being torn down. And for the black men who are calling out the black men who are anti-black women, I commend you. I commend you. And as I said before, I think there's only a few of us, you know, but I am seeing that there that the black men who tears down black women on the real, they're anti black women. Yo, All Heart, what's good, bro? But yeah, I will always have love for the black woman. I will always have love for her. You know, and the thing is, black women never had time to to en- enjoy enjoy life, you know. And if they put themselves first, then you have the black men who don't want to see black women put themselves first in any way. You'll have them saying, "Oh, she's selfish. She is putting her all because she is putting herself first." And they'll go ahead and say, other things to try and shame the black woman. And what I finally realized is this right here. Most black men, they hate black women. It is what it is. Most of them do. And the thing of it is they expect black women to be nice to them, black women to do all these things for them while they're dogging out black women, trying to take away their humanity. And like I said, and that's why I'm that's why I'm glad that there's black men out there who are standing up for black women. And again, to them, I commend them. I commend them for calling out the anti-black sentiments that most of the black men have. And as of right now, I believe it's best for black women to put themselves first and and stop being mammies for black men. Stop being mules and everything else. And yeah, and like I said, the majority of black men, since they want to go around and call black women masculine, I think it's about time that black women finally, I'm seeing them putting themselves first. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it, and I'm going to say good on them. And you know what? And I'm also going to say this too. Um, I think I think it's time for black women to march for the black women and girls who are being taken out within the community every every and last time I checked, it was every 4 hour 4.2 hours that black women, I mean that a black woman or a black girl has her life taken by someone within the black community. And what I'm saying is, since most black men say that black women are masculine, then that means black women should stop marching for black men, right? I mean, because let's face it, without black women marching and supporting and supporting the Bell reform back then, and given you know black men who went to prison a second chance, there wouldn't be, I mean, I'm gonna say this because honestly, when I look at it, I see it. Basically, it's the truth at the end of the day. Without black women advocating for black men, there wouldn't be no such thing as a I would say as a bail reform, meaning that the black man who did something wrong can get out of prison on a bond or something. And here's the thing: I am not blaming black women. I I'm not doing that. They were doing what they thought was right. Just just so the majority of black men can turn around and say that black women are masculine. The thing is, let's face it, most black men take black women for granted. They do. All the time, black women could be focusing on themselves from getting out the trauma that the black men who hate black women put them in. They could have been doing that. They didn't need to go out there and march for black men, but they did. And what and after after that, was there? What do they get? They get called masculine and all that by black men such as Anton Daniels, Dennis Sperling, and others. And what's funny to me is this. I was on I was watching I was you know watching the public offender, and yes, he's a black man who calls out anti-black the black men who want to put down black women, and he also calls out um the anti-black. you know I'm just going to say this. you know I want to go ahead and say to the public offender, I commend you. I commend you. And I have respect for you. It takes a real man to call out the misogyny from within the Black community. And sometimes those of us who do, we get called simp. We we get called everything in the book. Why? Because the Black men who do this, they think that masculinity is all about, you know, it's all about having this ego driven, you know, is to them it's all about having a big ego and and trying to put women in their place, mainly Black women. And when somebody like, I mean, when a Black man, like the public offender, calls them out, all of a sudden he's acting emotional. For at this point, at this point, I feel like I feel like this. Black women, y'all have been fighting the good fight for a long time. Y'all have. And I agree with Ralph Richard Banks. It's time to put yourselves first. And stop thinking that if you don't have a Black man, that you will not be happy. Stop thinking that. Stop thinking that. And like I said, just because the the man who likes you and loves you is non-Black, that doesn't but doesn't share your experiences, that doesn't mean you can't find happiness outside of the Black race. Enough is enough, for real. Black male worship has it has destroyed the Black community. And as of right now, I know that there will still be Black women who will still be marching for Black men. I get it. But for those who are tired of the disrespect that you receive from the majority, of black men, I do not fault you if you don't want to march for black men. I do not fault you. You have every right to not march. You have, I would say, you have the right. You have the right to not want to march for black men. After all the disrespect that has happened, black women being called out their names and everything, again, I do not fault you. And I know that, and I get, there are black women who have sons and everything else, but at the end of the day, black women, you gotta put yourselves first. You gotta do it. You have to. I under and yes, there are good black men, and I'm talking about real good black men, not the black men who are on the black manosphere trying to disguise themselves as the good black man. Like I said, I do not fault black women if they want to put themselves first. I really don't. I really don't. I really don't fault them in any way, shape, or form. And like I said, I also agree that, I know there's black women who have sons out here. I know. And, you know, and I know that there are black women who love their sons and everything else. But when you go out there and march for them, and they go ahead and they listen to these Black Manosphere podcasts, and they start disrespecting you, you got to, yeah, I understand that as well, you know, but I'm just gonna say this. At the end of the day, at the end of the day, you cannot fault the mother who decided to stay with the child when the father abandoned the family. You cannot fault her. You cannot. but also, but also, I also understand that there's way too many black men who are falling for the there are falling for the red pill nonsense. And at that point, black women, you got to you got to put yourself first. You have to. And I agree with the black women who have the divestment channels. You know, I agree with them. And the thing of it is, the and the main thing of it is, it's because black women went through it went I agree with them because black femicide is getting out of hand, and the gaslighting of black women is getting out of hand. I just saw a story where where a 12-year-old unalive his 8-year-old cousin, all because, and she was asleep when that happened, all because he lost a fight. After losing a fight over a phone, over a phone. At this point, yeah, I agree again with the black women who have divestment channels and everything. I also agree with black men like the public offender. I also seen channels that are popping up in my feed like the Pivot podcast when they were interviewing Angel Reese, uh and dang, I forgot the other person's name. Dang it, I have to look that up again. But yeah, and I've I've seen where they were in a room, and I also seen one when they were in a room with other men talking about domestic violence. And they had a black woman who survived domestic violence tell her story. Uh, and again, I'm going to say this because it has to be said. For the black men who are stepping up to the anti-blackness and, want to defend black women and girls, there will be a lot more of those red pill, brain dead MFers who would who wants to try and tear down black women. And I think it's time that, you know, we let black women, you know, finally take the rest that they need. And like I said, since most black men say black women are masculine, then why should black women march for black men? Why should they? But yeah, I'm gonna end the live right here. I'm going to end the video right here. I want to thank everyone for coming to this video, and I want to thank everyone for for supporting the channel. Um, please like, comment, share this video so this video can be out there in the algorithm, so this video can reach young black women out there. And we can counter the black manosphere talking points. And also subscribe to the channel and make sure you're notified whenever I go live or do videos such as this. And again, I want to go ahead and acknowledge the public offender. He is a noble man, you know, out here countering the red pill talking points, and I support him 100%. So, yeah, again, I want to thank everyone for coming and supporting the channel. And until next time, love, peace, and happiness. And to the black women out there, make sure to stay dust free. Peace.